resilient together like I told you we needed to, right? Stay resilient together, and we fought together. How about Gage's big punt return on special teams? How about Corey, every single time you're out there pinning those guys doing your job. Great job. Offense wasn't perfect. How about that big play by Sam at the end? IB, huge play. Q, huge play. Harold making a big play. And then another rookie making his first start. Nice job, Shedeur. Well done.
It was a straightforward, unapologetic, and unambiguous message. Knowing that millions of people were watching, Shedeur Sanders stood at the podium following his historic Cleveland Browns debut victory, looked straight into the cameras, and made a statement that went viral on all American social media and sports networks. Many people wanted me to fail. It's not going to happen, you know. The weight of months of doubt, disrespect, and criticism was contained in those 12 words. They were the reaction of a person who had been written off, ignored, and disregarded at every turn, only to publicly disprove all of the skeptics. This was not a sign of conceit or haughtiness. This was self-assurance gained via hardship, planning, and performance in crucial situations. That statement is made even more potent and significant by the context. Long before he ever set foot on an NFL field, Shedeur Sanders was the target of criticism and skepticism. People began to wonder if his success was genuine or the result of nepotism as soon as his father took over as his college coach. Scouts analyzed every facet of his game in an attempt to downgrade him when he registered for the NFL draft with first-round projections. Critics claimed that his defeat in the 5th round demonstrated that he was overrated and never merited the excitement. Additionally, many believed he would never see significant playing time and would be out of the league in a year or two when he joined Cleveland as the backup quarterback. At every stage of that journey, Shedeur encountered people who were hoping, and occasionally openly hoping, that he would fail. He was aware of it. The comments on social media were visible to him. He could read the articles that doubted his skills. The talking heads on TV were telling him that he wasn't worthy of this level. He took in and used as fuel all of that negativity, all of that doubt, and all of those people who were actively trying to see him fail. He put all of his energy into a performance that silenced critics and signaled his arrival on the biggest football stage when he eventually got the chance to start an NFL game. A portion of the story can be inferred from Shedeur's debut statistical performance. He became the first rookie quarterback in 30 years to win his first start with 11 completions on 20 passing attempts for 209 yards and 1 touchdown. These are good stats that demonstrate capable quarterback play with occasional bursts of genius. However, the performance was genuinely exceptional because of everything that is impossible to quantify. The ability to maintain composure under pressure, the leadership and command of the huddle, the ability to make plays when they failed, and the poise under pressure. What distinguishes quarterbacks who can generate statistics from those who can win games are these intangible traits. The pivotal moment of Shedeur's debut was the 66-yard touchdown pass to Dylan Sampson in the 4th quarter. This play will be featured in highlight reels for years to come when people discuss his career. To transform a brief gain into an explosive play, the running back had to do his share of the screen pass execution, timing, and execution. Shedeur still needed to execute within the system, deliver the ball with the proper touch and velocity, and accurately read the defense. On that play, everything came together, and he scored his first NFL touchdown and scored important points in a game that Cleveland needed to win. Shedeur's confidence in his post-game comments wasn't fake or staged. This was sincere confidence that resulted from preparation and diligence. It's impressive for a rookie making his first NFL start in a hostile road setting that he talked about feeling so at ease before the game. The majority of young quarterbacks in that circumstance are anxious and unable to control their feelings. However, Shedeur's preparation, faith, and work ethic provided him with the mental fortitude to face the game with confidence and composure instead of fear and anxiety. What you want to see from a young quarterback is that preparation paying off in the moment. When the actual game began, all of the film study, practice reps, and mental rehearsals of various scenarios and situations translated into actual performance. The NFL game's speed and complexity didn't overwhelm Shedeur. He had done the work required to be prepared, so he was ready for it. Additionally, that dedication to preparation and work ethic cannot be taught or imitated. Either you possess it or you do not. And Shedeur obviously has a lot of it. It is worthwhile to look at the difference between Shedeur's first start and his earlier limited playing time because it demonstrates his capacity to grow and learn from challenging situations. He only completed 4 of 16 passes for 47 yards and threw an interception in a prior appearance in which he saw little action. In any case, it was a difficult game that might have destroyed the confidence of a young quarterback. Shedeur, however, accepted full responsibility for that performance rather than offering an explanation or assigning blame. He acknowledged that he needed to work on his relationship with teammates and his performance during games, saying, "I don't think I played good at all." You are looking for a franchise quarterback who is honest and accountable. No one expects novices to be flawless. Everyone is aware that mistakes and growing pains are inevitable. However, how players handle failure and adversity is what distinguishes those who flame out from those who become stars. Do they own up to their mistakes, grow from them, and improve? Or do they point fingers and make excuses? Shedeur is obviously in the second group. Accepting accountability for subpar work and using it as inspiration to get better, rather than as a reason to give up. It is impossible to overestimate the mental toughness needed to recover from that difficult performance and then play well in his first start. Many young quarterbacks never fully bounce back from their early setbacks, allowing those setbacks to erode their self-esteem and impact their performance going forward. However, after processing that challenging experience and learning from it, Shedeur performed when given another chance. His fortitude, mental toughness, and refusal to let a single negative day define him. These are the characteristics of a person who possesses the necessary skills to achieve success at the greatest level. When you consider everything Shedeur has been through, the statement, "It ain't going to happen," becomes extremely meaningful. This goes beyond merely reacting to criticism of his NFL debut. His legitimacy as a quarterback has been questioned for years, so this is his response. This is a response to everyone who claimed that his father was the only reason he had opportunities. This is a response to all those who claimed he was overrated and unworthy of being considered in the first round. This indicates to all those who hope to witness his failure that he has no intention of providing them with that satisfaction, so they will be disappointed. Shedeur's delivery of that statement was flawless in tone, defiant without being defensive, self-assured without being conceited, and personal without being petty. He wasn't mentioning names or attacking particular critics. He was merely expressing a fact about his attitude and resolve. People are eager for him to fail. They have the right to do so. But because he's prepared differently, built differently, and dedicated to success in ways that his detractors don't comprehend or value, he won't give them what they want. Shedeur's message gains additional depth from the follow-up remark about picturing what a full off-season might entail. Despite not running with the starters during training camp, he managed to do all of this, create history, and put on a solid performance in just 1 week of first-team practice reps. Because the offensive strategy was centered on him, he wasn't getting the most preparation time. Despite being thrown into this circumstance with little warning, he managed to succeed. As he speaks, picture what he could accomplish if he had a whole off-season. It is not hyperbole to say that it becomes dangerous. If Cleveland decides to make him their franchise quarterback, that is a real warning to the rest of the NFL about what's in store. Additionally, the way the Browns handled his development earlier in the season is subtly criticized in that comment. How much better could Shedeur have been if he had been given first-team reps right away, given that he can perform at this level after just 1 week of preparation? If Cleveland had started him earlier in the season, How many games might they have won? Without specifically criticizing his coaches or the organization, Shedeur is bringing up these awkward questions in the most tactful manner possible. Shedeur's message has wider ramifications than just his professional life. In a league where young quarterbacks are subjected to a great deal of pressure and scrutiny, particularly if they have well-known last names or are highly anticipated, his response to criticism offers a model for how to face hardship with dignity and fortitude. He didn't attack any particular critic. He refrained from participating in social media disputes. He didn't play the victim or offer an explanation. He merely expressed his will to succeed and supported it with on-field accomplishments. Shedeur's gratitude and confidence were both highlighted in Sports Illustrated's coverage of his post-game remarks, demonstrating that these traits are not exclusive. You can have faith in your skills and be grateful for opportunities. You can believe in your greatness potential and be humble about the journey. Shedeur is both relatable and inspirational because he strikes a balance between these seemingly incompatible traits. Because it goes beyond mere motivational talk or empty bravado, the statement that failure is not part of his playbook strikes a chord. This assertion is supported by performance and real data. At every stage of his career, Shedeur has encountered hardship and continuously managed to overcome it. He has responded to criticism about playing for his father by doing exceptionally well in college. During the draft process, he encountered skepticism. In response, he was chosen and given his chance. In response to being buried as a fourth-string quarterback on the depth chart, he put in a lot of effort and gained respect. He has now had to deal with skeptics who wished for him to fail in the NFL. And in response, he won his first game in history. Every time someone claimed he was incapable of doing something, Shedeur disproved them. He responded on the field whenever someone attempted to downplay his achievements or cast doubt on his veracity. What makes his "it ain't going to happen" statement so potent is his habit of continuously rising to challenges and silencing doubters. False confidence or wishful thinking are not what this is. This has a track record of triumphing in the face of doubt and overcoming hardship. One thing that cannot be taught in a classroom or learned from a textbook is the mental framework that enables Shedeur to take criticism and turn it into motivation instead of allowing it to erode his confidence. His upbringing as the son of one of the most self-assured athletes in sports history may have contributed to some of it. Deion Sanders had a strong sense of self-worth, which he obviously instilled in his son. However, Shedeur has also had to cultivate a unique kind of confidence that is unique to his circumstances and path. Throughout his career, Shedeur has frequently been the target of unfair and intensely personal criticism. Not only did people doubt his football skills, but they also questioned his character, calling him conceited and haughty. They implied that he was entitled and expected everything to be given to him, casting doubt on his work ethic. They doubted his sincerity, saying his last name was the only reason he was given opportunities. A young person's confidence and mental health may be severely damaged by all of these attacks, which go beyond typical sports criticism and enter personal territory. However, Shedeur used those attacks to strengthen himself rather than allow them to destroy him. Every unjust critique served as inspiration to put in more effort. Each personal assault served as fuel to disprove skeptics. Every effort to downplay his achievements only strengthened his resolve to do even better. One unique talent that sets top competitors apart from the rest is the capacity to turn negativity into positive energy. Shedeur's message has an effect on other young athletes who deal with comparable doubt and criticism. His example demonstrates that you don't have to interact with every critic or reply to every unfavorable remark. People who have already decided they don't believe in you don't need to hear you constantly defend yourself or show them how valuable you are. Sometimes, the best course of action is to concentrate on your preparation, have faith in your skills, and then let your performance do the talking. When you do decide to confront your detractors, you can do so with the assurance and conviction that Shedeur demonstrated without becoming petty or furious. Shedeur's post-game remarks went viral, demonstrating how much people want to see athletes who are genuine and don't hesitate to be who they are. We're fed up with prefabricated answers and statements that are approved by the company but don't add anything of value. We want to hear athletes share their personal stories of struggles, tenacity, and experiences. People responded to Shedeur's genuine moment by sharing his words millions of times on all platforms because they were able to discern sincere passion and conviction. Because of this viral moment, Shedeur is now under even more pressure going forward. He set himself up for failure by adamantly stating that it won't happen. Critics will use every setback or difficulty he has in the future as proof that his confidence was misplaced. Every poor game will produce opinions about how conceited and overconfident he was. That's the cost of having a strong voice and publicly supporting yourself. However, from what we've seen of him, Shedeur embraces this pressure and flourishes in the presence of it. The Browns organization must now choose between sticking with the previous depth chart hierarchy to hedge their bets or making a full commitment to Shedeur as their franchise quarterback. Cleveland should make a strong case for him as their starting quarterback going forward based on his performance and message. Through his play, he has earned it. Respect for him has grown in the locker room. Fans are enthusiastic about him. Most significantly, he has demonstrated that he possesses the mental toughness necessary to manage the demands and expectations of starting quarterback in the NFL. It's instructive to compare this to other young quarterbacks in the league who have found it difficult to deal with pressure and criticism. Highly drafted quarterbacks have crumbled under the weight of expectations, allowing fan annoyance and media criticism to undermine their self-esteem and output. We've witnessed bright careers ruined by a failure to overcome hardship and overcome setbacks. Shedeur's mental toughness, readiness, and unwavering faith in himself, even in the face of adversity, set him apart from those cautionary tales. This moment's legacy implications are still being written. However, regardless of how things turn out in the end, this widely shared message may prove to be a pivotal point in Shedeur's career. People will cite this post-game statement as the point at which he made his announcement and stated his intentions if he continues to have success in the NFL. These same words will be used against him by critics as proof of misplaced confidence if he struggles. In any case, Shedeur has raised his flag and made it apparent what he thinks will happen to him in the future. What are your thoughts on Shedeur Sanders using that strong, "it ain't going to happen" message to retaliate against his detractors? Based on his first performance, was his confidence warranted? To what extent does his ability to take criticism and turn it into motivation stem from his mental toughness? Do you think Shedeur has what it takes to be a successful NFL player in the long run? I'd like to know what you think about this viral moment, so please share your thoughts in the comments section. You obviously care about this story and want to follow every development if you have read this far into Shedeur's response to his detractors. To ensure you don't miss any updates when we release new content about Shedeur's journey and the Browns season, make sure you subscribe and enable notifications. If you admire Shedeur's self-assurance and think he has the mental fortitude to support his claims with action, give this video a high rating. Tell your friends who adore athletes and who don't hesitate to express their true selves. The haters receive their message, the skeptics receive their response, and Shedeur Sanders is only beginning to disprove everyone. Until the next time, never give up. Keep an eye out for those genuine moments that make sports unique, and return often for more amazing content.